Have you ever felt a deep, unexplainable connection to history? A sense that there's a story about your heritage that's been left untold? What if I told you that for generations, a profound mission, a divine purpose given to Black people, has been hidden, almost forgotten by the world? This isn't just about the past. It's about a powerful truth that resonates right now in our present. Today, we're going to uncover this incredible story, a narrative of purpose, resilience, and a destiny that has been waiting to be rediscovered. Let's journey back, way back, to the dawn of civilization. In the ancient lands of Africa, in places like Kush, Nubia, and Egypt, societies flourished. These weren't just kingdoms. They were beacons of knowledge, spirituality, and innovation. Imagine the banks of the Nile, not just as a river, but as a lifeline of a civilization that built pyramids reaching for the heavens, developed complex mathematics, and charted the stars. This was a world where Black people were kings, queens, scholars, and architects, shaping the very foundations of human knowledge. The Bible itself is filled with references to these powerful African kingdoms. Think of the Queen of Sheba, who journeyed from her rich kingdom, likely in modern-day Ethiopia, to test the wisdom of King Solomon. This wasn't a simple visit. It was a meeting of two powerful worlds, a testament to the respect and influence that African leaders commanded. Or consider Moses' wife, Zipporah, who was a Cushite woman from a land known for its strength and dark-skinned people. These aren't just footnotes in history. They are powerful indicators of a people deeply woven into the fabric of the divine narrative from the very beginning. So, what was this forgotten mission? It was a mission of stewardship and wisdom. From the earliest times, these civilizations were keepers of profound spiritual truths and knowledge about the earth. They were pioneers in agriculture, understanding the rhythms of nature and the seasons. They were masters of architecture, building structures that have mystified engineers for centuries. They were guardians of community, building societies based on interdependence, respect for elders, and collective responsibility. This mission was to be a light to the world, to demonstrate how to live in harmony with creation and with one another, guided by a deep spiritual connection. This wasn't a mission of dominance, but of guidance. It was about building a foundation for humanity. The knowledge that flowed from the Nile Valley and other parts of Africa spread across the globe, influencing philosophy, science, and art in ancient Greece, Rome, and beyond. This was the original mandate: to cultivate, to build, to teach, and to share wisdom. It was a divine trust, a responsibility to be the world's heart and its original teachers. But then, history took a devastating turn. The era of colonization and the transatlantic slave trade wasn't just a physical assault. It was a spiritual and cultural one. The goal was to sever the connection to this powerful heritage. Languages were forbidden, families were torn apart, and spiritual practices were demonized. An entire people were told they had no history, no culture, no value before their enslavement. The mission was buried under layers of oppression and lies. The world, and in many ways, Black people themselves, were forced to forget. Imagine having a library filled with priceless books, and someone not only locks the doors, but tries to convince you the library never even existed. That's what happened. The memory of being kings and queens, innovators, and spiritual leaders was systematically erased. The focus shifted from a divine mission of building and teaching to a desperate struggle for survival. The primary mission became simply to endure, to hold on to the last shreds of humanity in the face of unimaginable cruelty. But a mission from God cannot be completely destroyed. It can be hidden, it can be suppressed, but its embers continue to glow. Even in the darkest days of slavery, the mission survived. It transformed. It became the spirit of resilience. It was in the coded messages of spiritual songs, songs that spoke of freedom and a promised land. It was in the secret gatherings where stories of the motherland were whispered from one generation to the next. It was in the unbreakable will to maintain family and community bonds against all odds. A mission of stewardship became the careful tending of a small garden plot that could feed a family. The mission of teaching became a mother teaching her child to read in secret, a dangerous and revolutionary act. The mission of building became the creation of new, resilient communities, the foundation of the Black church, the establishment of schools and businesses in the face of segregation and hate. The spirit of the mission was never extinguished. It simply found new ways to express itself in the harshest of environments. After emancipation, the mission resurfaced with incredible force. Think about the Reconstruction era, a brief, brilliant period where formerly enslaved people began to build new lives. They were elected to public office, established universities like Howard and Fisk, and created thriving communities. They were reclaiming the ancient mandate to build, to lead, and to educate. They were picking up the pieces of a forgotten identity and showing the world what was possible. Then came the civil rights movement. This was a profound spiritual reawakening. Leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't just speak of civil rights. They spoke of the beloved community. This was a vision deeply rooted in the original mission, creating a society based on justice, equality, and love for all humanity. Dr. King's philosophy of nonviolence wasn't just a tactic. It was a spiritual principle, a higher way of being that echoed the ancient wisdom of our ancestors. He was reminding the world and his own people of a higher calling, a moral leadership that could heal a divided nation. The movement was a reclaiming of that divine purpose, to be a moral compass for the world, to fight injustice not with hate, but with an unshakable belief in the power of love and righteousness. It was the mission, reignited and shining brightly for all to see. So, where does that leave us today? This ancient mission is not a relic of the past. It is alive and calling to us right now. In a world grappling with division, environmental crises, and a loss of community, the original mission is more relevant than ever. The mission of stewardship is now seen in the fight for environmental justice, as Black communities disproportionately affected by pollution lead the charge for a cleaner, healthier planet. The mission of wisdom and teaching is seen in the scholars and historians uncovering and sharing our true history, in the artists, musicians, and writers telling our stories with authenticity and power. The mission of building is seen in the entrepreneurs creating businesses that empower our communities, in the tech innovators creating new platforms, and in the community organizers working tirelessly to create safer, more supportive neighborhoods. The spirit of ancient Kush and Egypt is alive in the architects designing community-centric spaces and the engineers solving modern problems. This mission is your inheritance. It's a call to each and every one of us. It doesn't mean you have to be a famous leader or a historical figure. It's about how you live your life every single day. Are you a steward of your gifts? Are you a builder in your family and community? Are you a keeper of wisdom, sharing what you know and seeking truth? This knowledge is empowering. It reframes our entire story from one of victimhood to one of divine purpose. It tells us that our resilience is not an accident. It is the product of a spirit that cannot be broken. It tells us that our creativity, our soulfulness, our capacity for joy, even in the face of pain, are all echoes of this ancient divine calling. This is the truth that was hidden for generations. You descend from a people given a foundational mission to be a light in the world. That light was dimmed but never put out. Now, it's our turn to let it shine brightly once again. Embrace this mission. See yourself not just as a survivor of a difficult past, but as the carrier of a powerful and purposeful future. Your history is not one of chains. It is one of crowns, wisdom, and a divine mission that the world desperately needs today. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If this message resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content that uncovers the hidden truths of our incredible history. Let's continue to rediscover our purpose together.